Yeah.
I don't remember him saying that. You're right, because in my notes I have nothing about Stephon Anthony at all.
That was the last drive he was able to make a tackle. Let's look at the rushing. Mark Ingram picked up 58 yards on 12 carries, and he averaged 4.8 yards per carry, which is really good. Really good. Cooks, 11 yards. Hightower, 9 yards on 4 carries. Drew Brees had 5 yards on 2 carries. And Kuhn, 4 yards on 2 carries. And Cadet, 1 yard.
So we're still not running the ball that great.
Yeah. Drew Brees, outstanding performance, really in a losing effort. Willie Snead really had an outstanding game. 9 receptions for 172 yards, a 19.1 yard average with 1 touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 6 receptions for 143 yards, 23.8 average, and he had 2 touchdowns. Micah Thomas, the rookie, did very well. 6 receptions for 58 yards and 9.7 per reception. And Mark Ingram, Cadet, and Fleener and Hightower wrapped up the receptions for the New Orleans Saints. But if you look at our top 3 receivers, you have to be encouraged about what you saw from these guys, especially from Michael Thomas, because he had some key receptions, and he really helped when it came down to trailing that play and picking up the fumble from Willie Snead. So I really did appreciate to see that. The rookie, he had his struggles on kicks. Mr. Lutz there, he missed 2 field goals. He made 2, but that last one for 61 yards, that was going to be difficult anyway. The 50-yarder, right. I don't think the 50-yarder should have been attempted at all, in my opinion. If we would have just tried to kick the ball, put those guys in some bad field yardage, that long run possibly would never have existed, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, as usual. If we look at Derek Carr had 24 completions for 63 percentile, and he only was able to rack up 319 yards. I thought he had a 400-yard day the way they were going, especially those last couple of drives, and he only threw for 1 touchdown. So the other 3 touchdowns that they had came on the ground from Rashard, Murray, and Awali. So then, I mean, Amari Cooper, we knew it was going to be a big day for him, but we did shut him out of the touchdowns. He had 137 yards off of 6 receptions. He did have a extra point for 2 points, as well as Crabtree. He had 7 receptions for 87 yards, and he had an extra point as well. That last drive, Roberts was able to do the touchdown.
Robinson on that 4th down play.
That's what I was saying. If Robinson, okay, he was trailing the running back, but the running back was out of bounds, really. He was headed out of bounds. He had no way of catching the football, but Robinson swiped at his hands or pushed him. That's from the angle I was able to see from the television, and that's why they called interference. If Robinson would have just kept his hands to himself, I think it would have been okay. I don't even think they would have been able to call an interception.
Was that 4th down?
That was 4th.
That was 4th down.
4th down. Keep your hands to yourself.
But see, this is what I mean about. This is what I'm talking about. These football players for the Saints and the coaching, whatever's the problem, the intangibles that Jimmy Greach is talking about. The Saints team does not have discipline. They make penalties and make mistakes at the wrong time. It just is nonstop with this team. The game would have been over, and they consistently find ways to lose games. And when as long as you consistently find ways to lose games, and if you don't break this is just going to continue to plague this team and this organization. The Saints, to me, they're not as bad as they used to be, but they look like the teams before can't find a way to win games. They cannot find ways to win a close game. And they keep killing themselves at the wrong time, with a penalty at the wrong time, with a missed tackle at the wrong time, with somebody being out of position at the wrong time. Field goal kicker can't make the kick. 50-yarders, Kyle, that's why they're running in. You got to make a 50-yard field goal. You got to make that, because 50-yard kickers now, 50-yard field goals by kickers are norm now for most teams. But for whatever reason, this team cannot find a stable field. I'm not going to penalize the guy for the 61-yard. I'm not.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But I'm going to say this, and I was telling my son throughout the broadcast when he was lining up for the kicks, each one of those kicks except one extra point was trailing to the left.
Wow.
Each one. If you go back and get a chance to review on Game Rewind, you would see even on the extra points, they were kind of trailing to the left. Each one was trailing to the left. So where's the special team? But where's the special team coach?
Team coach, exactly.
Say, hey, look. I'm noticing on your kicks, this is what's happening. Okay, let's make a quick little adjustment.
Same problem that I've been saying. The defensive line coach, the assistant defensive coach, and the special teams of the New Orleans Saints has been a chronic problem. Chronic problem. It's been a chronic problem. And he even had one that was blocked on that short one, and it went through after it was blocked. The problem is these coaches, and nobody wants to address it. You have a problem with your coaches. Special teams, defensive line, and assistant defense. That's just the bottom line. And Coach Sean Payton is going to have to do something. He's going to have to do something, because that should not be happening, that all of the young man's kicks are going up and up. And you got to remember, the adjustment from college to pros is a bit different. And that's why I was not approving of the switch in field goal kickers, like this, at this short of a notice. And it's come back to bite you in the butt.
Check this out.
It's come back to bite you in the butt.
And this is something that is going to be lost in this game, because we had 3 big plays, right, on offense. But our third down efficiency was just 4 out of 11 for 36%. We did have a 1-for-1 on 4th down. Our red zone efficiency was 3 out of 5. Our goal to go efficiency was 67%, 2 out of 3. That's what's going to be lost in this game, because think about it. If we didn't have those big plays, we would have been losing worse than what really happened. Okay? So
I think the Saints going to be in another type game like this next week in New York. And what is very disappointing is this team is now 4-10 in the Superdome.
Yeah, that is disappointing, because those fans deserve better. I wrote about it earlier this preseason after Keenan Lewis, and I think the fans deserve a lot better in the personnel moves.
Deserve better than this. Yep. Mm-hmm.
The personnel move, and you can say, yes, the rookies played well up until that half of the third quarter, fourth quarter. When Delvin Breaux left, you still have a rookie defensive backfield who haven't seen certain nuances of the game. Nope. They will see if they keep on playing. But like P.J. Williams was called on to extend a drive, was called on pass interference. Keep your hands to yourself. He didn't have to pull the jersey. If the guy was already going toward the sideline, if he would have caught the ball, why would you need to pull the jersey? He's already gone. If he would have kept his hand to himself, that would have ended one of those drives. You see? So the Saints young guys are going to have to be able to realize when to be able to put your hands on offensive player or keep your hands to yourself. And they haven't been able to realize this is not college. You can't keep doing those same things.
This is why I tell people I do not like a team full of all young people. And that's the movement they went through, and it's costing them. You cannot have all young people. You got to have some veterans. The transition is just not going to be there for them. And this team, I know they had to rebuild, but unfortunately, you don't have a good balance of people on defense. You don't. On defense, you don't have a good balance of people. And when you don't have that good balance of people on defense, this is what you have in the outcome.
Yeah.
This is what you get in the outcome. And next week, you're going to have the same type of game with Eli Manning. Odell Beckham and those wide receivers is going to be the same thing, especially if Delvin Breaux is not able to play. I mean, then you got Matt Ryan and Julio. Then you got Phillip Rivers. But now games that the Saints really should win, they're going to have all these games just like this. And the Saints do not have a dominant team. They don't know how to put teams away. They do not know how to put teams away at all. Period and point blank. They don't. You do not blow a 14 and 11-point leads like this. You simply, and then you blow an 8-point lead.
Yeah.
You blew the lead and all of this time like this. And when I'm telling you, when it scored that 75-yarder, I said, here we go. And then the Saints scored, 34, and then they came back. I said, this game needs to go into overtime. When he was going for the two-pointer, I said, the Saints about to lose. I did. Because you just know that they can't make a play. You just know that this team on defense cannot make any key plays. They haven't for a long time, Kyle. The last time the Saints defense made a significant play was against the Atlanta Falcons in 2014 when the Falcons was going to try to take the lead and then made a play in the end zone. I forget who it was. Made the play in the end zone.
Vaccaro, right.
Vaccaro. And that's it. You have not had the Saints defense come through in any capacity in so long it's not even funny. I can't even recall when this defense saved and won a game for them.
Yeah.
I mean, and that to me is the essence of something is wrong with your coaching. You can't keep blaming it all on the personnel. Something you're trying to convey, whether it's Dennis, whether it was Rob, whether it was Steve Spagnuolo or Williams. Something is amiss. And it almost, to me, honestly, it looks like this defense is cursed. Just like the Cleveland Browns and certain things you see in the team, it's like it don't matter who they bring in, what coordination they bring in, coordinator or personnel, this defense just cannot play. It's the strangest thing. And now you can't win at home. You cannot even win games in the Superdome. These people spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 season tickets at a Saints game, and you are 4-10 over your last 3 seasons in a venue such as the Mercedes-Benz Dome. That's crazy to me, man.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, the bright spots of the day was all Drew Brees as well as Brandon Cooks and Willie Snead. Drew Brees threw a touchdown, a franchise record of 98 yards to Brandon Cooks, who beat Sean Smith in single coverage. He raced away from a free safety, I believe his name was Nelson, and it was a career-long passing play for Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Brees, again, he was able to eclipse 400 yards passing for the 14th time in his career. He tied Peyton Manning for the most of that kind in NFL history, but he also was able to eclipse Peyton Manning because over 350 yards games, Brees has done it, I believe it was 37 times. So,
and you know what else, Kyle? Go look up the record. Most of the times when he throws for 400,
they lose.
They've been losing. They've been losing.
Yeah.
When he throws over 40 passes, they're losing. But that's not his fault because, once again, they put up